How's it going? Welcome to the shop. Hope you're having a great day. Alright, so we gotta get logos on these and we gotta get them sharpened. Unfortunately, my etcher took a crap and we need to build a new one. So I ordered some parts on Amazon, but they don't come till tomorrow. So I'm gonna get on sharpening this knife. Are you ready? Here we go. Welcome back. So I already did the sharpening part, but I'm gonna have to put that last because the footage might not be that good. I kind of went over it, but if you guys don't know, I built a new camera rig on my ceiling, which here, I'll show it now. All right, so check this out. It slides, it goes up anywhere I want it, how I want it. Boom, loosen that. Boom, we can slide it anywhere we want it. Now, the big problem I had, so here's my grinder, here's my face, there's my camera thing. So guess what I was doing? I'd lean in here and all you can see is the back of my head on the camera. But I got a few shots, so I'll try to get it good. All right, back to the intro. So yeah, all my parts came in. We're gonna take these parts and make it into an AC/DC etching machine. And then we'll show you how to do the logos and stuff and then put the sharpening stuff, what I can salvage. Luckily I had 2 cameras set up so I could probably get most of it, but we'll see. All right, let's get on to this build. So in the last time I made a video about an etching machine, I tried to show you guys this, which is just basically a transformer and then a circuit with a bridge rectifier and a capacitor. Now, if I try to rebuild this circuit for you guys, everyone's gonna say it's too complicated, I don't know electronics and all that, which is, understandable. So we're gonna cut this whole thing out right here. We're gonna make it really easy. Actually, we're gonna cheat a little bit, so no B-roll today. If you watched that last Kydex video, I don't know what Premiere Pro did, but that slow motion section, that wasn't what I put in, but I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I'll let my temper cool down and put one on the next video. How about that? All right, instead of this, all we need is a little box. If it's a plastic box, you don't need a ground. If it's metal, you're gonna need an extension cord with 3 prongs. Plastic, you don't need ground. Now, you're gonna want an extension cord that you're gonna sacrifice because we're gonna cut this up and we're gonna make it really easy. I mean, real easy. Am I looking at the monitor or am I looking at the lens? I have a feeling most of us looking at the monitor, so forgive me. Let me turn this back. What we got here today is a transformer. Just like this transformer right here, if you want AC on your etcher, you're going to have a transformer. So this might be the hardest part of the build. I went on Amazon and I bought a brand new one. So this goes from 120 volts down to 12 volts. Now the 3 wires can be confusing. You don't want to worry about this green one. We're just going to take that off. What the green one is for, say you want to make a AC output that has 12 volts and 6 volts. This is a center tap, so these 2 put out 12 volts and either of these other 2 put out 6 volts. But don't worry about that, we're just using the 2 12 volts. Like I said, we'll have to cap that off. We got our transformer and here's our secret cheat code. Now if you guys watched that video where I tried to show you how to build this, you remember I bought one of these and then I blew it up because I was messing around and trying to figure things out. So we're not even going to take this apart, but this is the secret cheat code. This side will plug into there and bam, we have our DC. So now we got our DC on this, our AC on this. We have to wire it to a power switch and then another switch for AC DC, and that's it. 2 switches, wires to this and wires to that, then the wire out, and we're done. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut our extension cord, so that will be power in. Power in, switch it on. The power goes 1 to this and 1 to this, DC, AC. We come out of the AC and the DC, and we go to this. On, off, on. So it'll be DC, off, AC. And if you guys watched the heat treat oven thing where I bought these just on and off, that's our power. So our power will come in and then tap off. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Now you can see why I'm saying I'm cheating. We're not doing anything except wiring this in and wiring this in and then wiring it to a switch to on and off. Easy peasy. I've actually had the box for this for a long time. And if you're the kind of person that likes to fiddle with stuff, you know how important it is not to lose your parts. So it's good to get these things. I'll put a list to all this stuff I got on Amazon down in the description. That way if you plan on building this, the channel can get a little kickback and it doesn't cost you any more. Supporting the channel and building stuff at the same time. Ain't that a good thing? So the first thing we're going to have to do is figure out where you want your switches. One's for power, one's to switch from AC to DC. So there's our things drilled. I should tell you that I just put the tape on there so I could put DC and AC on there. But no, I figured out the size on this one and got over anxious and it cracked the whole thing. You can see the crack goes from there all the way down to here. But that's okay because now we can write AC and DC on here. First thing we should do, it was a 15-30 seconds, but just be careful when you're drilling out that plastic. It's like a hard plastic, so it cracks real easy. It's not really soft, that gives. Anyway, yeah, 15-30 seconds. Just so you know, you don't have to have a multimeter, but if you run into any problems, you're going to want a multimeter to know what the problem is. Especially since you're buying parts. I would suggest the first thing you do, hook up your DC power supply, turn your multimeter. You can get these at Home Depot for cheap or any automotive place. Turn it to DC. Now see, I like to put alligator clips on mine because when you're doing resistance, you can hold one side of the resistor in your hand, but you don't want to touch both because your body is resistant, so it'll give you a false positive. So, touch it in there. We got 12 volts. We got 12.29 volts. So from here on out, if we mutilate it, it's on us. Now, with the transformer, we kind of know that this is the secondary because it has 3 wires. But if you find a transformer that only has 2 wires in and 2 wires out, and you don't know which is which, what you're going to want to do is put one on this, put yourself to ohms, and then see you can touch the other one. Alright, I'm going to strip this back. I think there might be glue or something on this because it's reading open line. That's why it's best to test these out and stuff. Alright, let's try it now. So we got 166 ohms on this side. See, they put some kind of coating on this. And 3.6 ohms on the other one. The smaller ohms is your secondary. The higher ohms is your primary. See, it's good we tested that because if I would have just hooked this up and not known about that coating, I would have been like, oh man, this is a defaulty transformer. But we're good. Now we know our parts are good. We can start running wires. So what I'm going to do, I'm taking this extension cord. I'm cutting it off. Snip. The sacrificial lamb. I was thinking, oh man, I'll solder these on or something and put sleeves over them, but then it came to me. What's easier than just plugging this in? Now we just run this to the switch. And there's our power to our DC. See what I mean? We're cheating. And what I'm going to do now is this is going to be my power cord. Since I have a plastic box, I don't need metal. So, depends on how long we want our cord. And I'm going to bring the cord through the back. I'd say we'll make a nice long cord, like, 2.5 feet, 3 feet. So we'll cut that. And the thing is, now we can use this cord to run our clip and our cable. Or our etching thing. Let's see. We got 2 of these cables coming out, one for the etcher and one for the power. We got a little hole here. So we'll make it just a little bit bigger than that. So I'll be back with that. Here's our power. I feed our power in, and here's the cable I'm going to run for nice and tight. Yeah. There's where I'm going to run for the etcher. So let's pull these through. Now let's not get them. The bottom one is power. So like I showed on the heat treat oven build, I'm going to put some matte black marker on here. So we know this is power. Anytime you have wires and you don't have enough, and you need to use the same color wire, make sure you mark something for the difference. I mean, that's just a little tip. It's best to go out and buy green wire, black wire, and red wire and all that, but I have this. I'm trying to make do and make it as easy as possible for you guys that don't know about electronics. We're just trying to take all the guessing and the hard parts out of it. I don't want my dyslexia to get in the way, so I double check. Strip your wires. If I can find this on Amazon, I'll put a link, but you can buy these at Home Depot too. Alright, so I need to interrupt. This video is just getting too detailed and too monotonous. I think when I'm wiring stuff, I'm just working so much and concentrating on what I'm doing and kind of talking out the side, so every little detail, it just got too much. Not to mention, this camera shut off because it got too long, and I forgot to set the focus on the other camera. So I'm just going to show you step by step what I did. It's already done and completed. We'll just go through the process, and then I'll show the etching and the sharpening and all that and the rest of it. Alright, so let's get on to it. Alright, first of all, let me say this part didn't work. Because of how it was catty-cornered like that, it wouldn't fit in the box. Each one of these prongs has a hole in it. So I just wrapped I stripped the wire back, actually a good 1/2 inch, 3/4, wrapped it around and tied it, because the actual pieces coming out, the solder doesn't stick to, but the solder will stick to the wire itself. So I just kind of wrapped the wire around it, put it through the hole, wrapped it, made a tight circle around it, and put a bead of solder on it to hold it together. Then I use shrink wrap. If you don't have the not shrink wrap, heat wrap, same thing, shrink wrap, you can put electrical tape on it to make it secure. You just want that, to make sure the wires, even if the solder, from moving back and forth gives a little bit, these will hold it in place. From there, here's your power switch. So you have the AC power coming in. Polarity doesn't matter. AC, DC, we fixed the polarity out here. This switch, on and off, it has a little thing right here where it slides in, so you know what's off and what's on. So you hook your power in to your off side. You just cut a piece of cord and bring it off the on side. Now on that on side, you tie in one side of your transformer and one side of this. So on one of these right here, this one has one side of the transformer and one side of the DC power supply that goes to the switch. Boom. The other one is the same thing. This is the other side of the transformer. It goes into the power, which also goes into this. So basically all you're doing is taking the two out from the transformer, the two out from the power supply, and hooking them to the switch. One goes to each. You cap those off and you tie it off. So now we have power to this, and we have power to the transformer. Now coming out of the transformer, you go to one side of the switch. Same thing, on, off, on. So here's your AC right off the transformer, goes to one side of the switch. Here's your DC, goes to the other side of the switch. In the middle, you put your output that goes to this. Really simple. So power in goes to one side of the transformer and one side of your DC power supply. The other side goes to the other side of the transformer and the other side of the DC power supply. Your DC power supply comes out, goes to one side of the switch. Your transformer with the AC goes to the other side of the switch. In the middle, you tap off, which comes out to the etching part. It's that simple. Like I said, I explained every connection in detail and it was getting to be a really long video, and I was getting bored with it. So I know if I was getting bored with it, you guys not only would probably start misunderstanding, but would get bored. Kiss, keep it simple, stupid. I'm taking that all out, and I'm just showing you this. I'll say it one more time. Here's your 120 in. You plug in right here. So you plug in this to the outlet. This comes into your switch. Boom, boom. You got your switch wired. Because AC doesn't matter about polarity. And I actually did a test and hooked this up both ways. And when you plug into this, this doesn't matter. So you can plug this in either way. So it doesn't matter how you hook this switch up to the AC. Boom, you come through your switch. One side of the switch goes to one side of the transformer and one side of the DC power supply. The other one off the switch comes to the other side of the transformer, other side of the power supply. Boom. We have power to the transformer and we have power to the DC power supply. You come out of the DC power supply and you go to one side of the switch. Boom, boom, boom. Doesn't matter how you hook it up. Come out of the transformer. Go to the other side of the switch. Boom. Now you got to remember, this has to be an on, off, on switch. So the middle two are what comes off to your etcher and your clip. That's it. You've made an etcher. Now, let me put this all back together and I'll show you how to figure out what is positive and negative for DC, because that is important. Whew, I'll tell you what. Getting this box back together a second time was a lot harder than the first, especially when I pulled everything out. Whew, but we got it back together. So anyway, now we're here. I think I've told you before. Here, let me turn this off. I was just testing it and make sure all my things were connected. I told you before what I do for my etching part is I just took a bolt, I cut the bolt off, I welded a piece of just 1/8 inch steel to it. So here's 1/8 inch steel, here's a bolt. I drilled a hole through a piece of wood, I bolted that piece on, and then I connected the negative. This is the negative part. This is only for DC. AC is alternating current. But DC, you're going to have to know polarity. So you hook the negative. So what you want to do, and then I've got just an alligator clip on the other side. So pretend these wires are bare. What you're going to want to do is you hook. I'm just going to hook to here. But you're going to have to hook your positive and negative to these two wires right here. And then you turn it on. Now see, we got a negative 12.8. So that means this is negative and this is positive. Then you switch it out. Boom. 12.3. So that's how you know what's negative and positive. You put your thing to DC. DC is the straight line and the broken lines. That in case if you put it on like that and you're like, oh, wow, I got 12 volts, but you don't see the negative sign, you're going to hook them up backwards. We'll switch this to AC has a wavy line, that's it. Switch it to AC. I'll put the negative on and the positive on. We're at 16 volts. And you're good to go. I have a feeling that tap, if you hook the green one to the red one, it's 12 volts. If you hook the two reds together, it's 16 volts. I already did the etch and it's fine. Now you could put a knob in there to change the resistance if you want to and change the voltage. But you don't need to. As you'll see in the next video, the etchers came out fine with 16 volts. But now, watch this. I'm going to go ahead and switch them out. Put this one on this one on that one, and we still have 16 volts. So you see, AC doesn't matter, polarity. It's only DC. I just saved you all about 20 minutes of wiring and my boring ass talking. So let's get to the next part. Well, once again, it's been a change in plans. I just finished editing this first part and it's 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do is cut it here, end the video, and render it and put it up. Now, depending on how long it takes to get everything processed and all that, I might put it up Friday night or I might put it out Saturday. But I'm going to start editing the other part because I've already got all the sharpening stuff and the etching and all that, and make that in a second video and have it up Monday. So it'll either be this video Friday or Saturday, you know before I do because you're watching it. And then the video, you know, I got the live stream Sunday, and then Monday we'll have the video up for the etching and the sharpening and all that stuff. It'll be almost like daily vlogging, right? Alright, thanks for watching. I got shirts on my website, which is up in the cards here, and everything else is down in the description. There's knives on that website. Hopefully in a couple days there'll be 2 or 3 more. So make sure to comment, like it if you like this video, dislike. Let me know if you think this is an easy solution. Or, you know, sometimes you have to cheat. If you don't know, fake it until you do, right? So I hope this helps some of you guys, because I'll tell you what, paying $150 to $300, depending on who you get it for an AC/DC power supply just doesn't make sense to me. This is a basic way. Now, if you want me to do electronics and show you how to build the bridge rectifier and shrink it down, because if you can build the circuit, it's half that trouble. But you have to know what you're doing. Anyway, I digress. I'm getting on a rant again. Thanks for all the support. I really appreciate it. I hope you're all having a great weekend. And as always, take it easy.